Let's talk about an important distinction between the things that AI uses to make sense of the world and to make predictions that actually have value for us. And what really has changed since we used AI to train large language models. And I want to talk about the difference between data, information, words, text, and why when we talk about data strategy, we're in a completely different field than we used to be when we talked about words and text. And now these worlds, the worlds are melting. They're coming together, and there is not much of a difference anymore.
This is Connect the Dots, the AI Impact Podcast. I'm Christoph Burkhardt. Welcome to the show.
So when we talk about data, and for decades now, companies have tried to get their data under control, to collect the right data from the right customers, the right markets. The right information at the right time can make the difference between selling a product or not selling a product. So obviously data, and especially in the age of the internet and e-commerce and social media, we got a lot of data and information was coming out of that data. So the raw data points delivered meaning. And that meaning, whenever a human analyzed data, there was information coming out of it that was valuable. Now, with words, with text, obviously, there was a lot of information in text, and humans could read a piece of text. You could read a social media post of someone, and you would understand between the lines what this person might be feeling, what this person might be wanting, what their needs are. Even if they're not explicitly set in the words, the information was delivered to you because you're, as a human being, you're able to read in this text what this means. And now we're approaching a world in which the data that you extract, usually in terms of numbers, right? So this was the codification of data usually came in numbers. And these quantified pieces of meaning became information when humans analyzed it. Now, text becomes data, and this is a big jump that many don't understand fully yet, because the implication of that is that there is not much of a difference between text and data anymore. Meaning, social media, when you see a post, you read the post, you still, in a sentiment analysis, you would have to say what this person feels, codify this somehow in numbers, or somehow in something that you can cluster and count. And then once you have that number, that became data that you then would analyze. Now we have machines that understand the text almost like humans would understand the text. They can read between the lines, not understanding it, but they can predict what the meaning in itself is and what needs to follow, or what could follow after. What this now means is that wherever we have text codified right now that is not being transformed into data so we can analyze it, wherever that is, take any video call that you have as an example. So there are lots of words, and there's a lot of talking, and there's a lot of information in the room. But since we haven't transcribed every call yet, but we will. Okay? I've been transcribing every call now for over a year, and I can tell you, with this transcript of every call is a data set that is so powerful if we start analyzing it. And right now we see the use cases, right? So why would you bring an assistant to your meeting, an AI assistant that just takes notes out of the meeting, just extracts information? Well, of course you do that right now. So after the meeting, you get a clean summary, and you get a list of to-dos, and you get a list of follow-ups, and it enters your calendar, and it enters your task management. But these are small cases, given what happens when you take text and transcripts to a larger level, where you say, oh, we're taking transcripts now as a databasis, meaning there is a data set that's just my calls with one company, with one client, or with one person. Okay, every time I talk to this person, there's added data to our relationship and to the information we're exchanging. What this means is, like, I can not only go back into the summaries of these meetings, I can analyze everything that happened in this relationship over time. Now, obviously, this is something we accept in a business setting right away, because the relationship between a customer and let's say a sales representative over time is a really interesting data point to look at, and then draw conclusions either what might happen with other clients, or predict things that become prescriptive, meaning the AI can suggest things that it learned from the transcripts, what to do differently the next time with the same client or with a different client that's similar to that client, a lookalike client. So once you understand that text is now data, that you need to produce text just like you produce data. Meaning, of course, there are still companies who struggle to collect the right data at the right time and to get to valuable data sets. And they still have the feeling they don't know much about their customers. But in most cases, this is because they haven't really looked at what they actually have. And now, every time we have text, this is also a data set that brings CRM data and valuable insights to what to do next, how to reply, how to respond, how to deal, how to manage this relationship, how to manage a customer, how to manage a client, how to manage a product, how to take feedback. You can now take any piece of feedback that came in a customer call about something, some feature that they didn't like, and you can extract that from all calls that you've ever made. And you find that, oh, this feature is something that people complain about a lot. You don't have to wait for this to pop up because someone notices it or someone has an hypothesis about it. No, you don't have to wait, because now AI can parallel analyze every piece of text that you create. But this means you have to understand that creating text now is very different from how we did it before, because text was always created so a human could then read it again, extract the information, maybe produce data, but the text itself had to be read by a human to be analyzed. And this is no longer the case. We can have AI read for us and with us. And that means we get real-time information out of text. And this is something we haven't really grasped yet. We don't know what that's going to lead to specifically, but we definitely know that we will create a lot more text, and we will want a lot more real-time analysis of what's being said, why, how, and when.